All right, welcome back. Episode 3 to Let's Get Messy. I'm Jordana.
I'm Talia.
And we have a special guest with us today. Please welcome Auntie Janet.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, okay, sure. All right, guys. So, how was your week then? Jordana.
Week was good. Second week back to work after winter break. So, getting back more into routine and learning how to work again, which is always good. Busy week, back to regular scheduled routine, and yeah, not too much to update. How about yourself?
My week's been good. Not much to report. I am still at home, not working. So, I was saying to you earlier that the days have been going by faster that I'm at home, which makes no sense, but it's fine. I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting. It's been good though. So, yeah. How has your day been?
Oh, the day was good. To let you know, that happens when you're at home, when you're not doing anything, or if you're retired, days go by quicker. No, day was good because I had a really good lunch with my cousin and from Kwantlen and caught up on not just her life, but everybody else's.
This is going public, Janet.
Oh, I know. Everybody else is good.
Hopefully she doesn't listen to this.
Not yet. No, it's been good. Yeah. No, it was a good day.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So our drink of the week, I made them. I'm very proud of myself because I don't make cocktails. They are a peach fizz with tequila, peach schnapps, and lemon juice with a little bit of club soda. We use bubblies though, so.
And Auntie Janet and I have vodka.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll put the how to make it and stuff like that. Day we release and all that kind of stuff, so you can have it with us. So yeah, let's get into it. Auntie Janet can. Oh, guys, I'm looking down because I have notes. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, I guess I better first introduce that little person in the middle.
Oh yeah.
There's Layla. So that's my Layla. That's my little dash hound.
Our also special guest.
Yeah.
Guys, we're sharing a mic, so if you see us awkwardly going like this, passing it back and forth,
that's how come.
Yeah,
for sure. I usually go by Janet Meller Crockford because Meller is my maiden name. I'm Katesy First Nation. I'm living in one of the 3 communities within the area. So I live in Langley area. But our main community is in Pitt Meadows, and we have another one on Barston Island. Our main community, though, if you think about it, if you ever been to Grant Narrows at all, to where Pitt Lake is, that's where our traditional longhouses were. So we had roughly about 7, they feel, at that time. But we did have some on the Fraser River because my house sits on the bank of the Fraser River. And so that's where my ancestors are from, is from there. But I am actually 3/4 Aboriginal or Indigenous.
Oh.
I'm not, I'm not full Indigenous. I do have some European background. And just a little funny thing on there, both my late husband and I did our DNA. And Mike is from Stoke-on-Trent, England. I was more European than he was.
No way.
Funny.
So he was more Icelandic area.
Yeah.
That he was from. So that was kind of funny. So I'm 3/4 Indigenous, and like any other person, we're always kind of thinking about what our identity is, and you need to have both of them paired together. Mm-hmm. So for me, though, I met my husband when I was 17. And we were together for 41 years, married for 39. But he's now it'll be 8 years in April already since he's been passed. But we have 2 children, and a son of 41 and a daughter. Whoop, there she goes.
Didn't like that. For those of you that aren't looking, the dog jumped off.
Yeah, dash hounds are not supposed to be doing that, but she does anyways. And our daughter is 38. But within my family, my parents were both taken to residential school. Mm-hmm. They didn't meet in residential school. Because my father was 5 years older than my mom My mom married him when she was 16. She was or not
Ooh.
quite 16. But they have 15 children altogether.
There's 15
There's
of you guys
15 of
together.
us.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm the youngest of the group. And but there's only 5 sisters left out of the whole family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And my older sister now is 83. Yeah. So she's the second oldest from the group. So that means I'm an auntie, I'm a grand auntie, and a great grand auntie, meaning it's the first generation of nephews and nieces had children. And that group then had children as well. And 61 of them is more than enough.
Oh, wait. That is a lot.
More than enough for me to have.
A lot of nieces and nephews.
It's a lot of nieces. And no, I don't remember all their names.
Well, who would?
All by ages in chronological alphabetical order.
Exactly. Because within my community where I am now, it was always under one family name in our community. I don't call it a reserve and I don't call it a res. That's not part of my generation to call it that. They're all, except for one, they're all my nephews and nieces.
Here.
Yeah, and 3 sisters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's all close because when you go on any community, it's usually a mix of family. But our community is not.
Yeah.
It's small enough. It's not that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally different.
So how do we know Janet? So Jordana, how do you? No, I'm gonna start.
Yeah. You start, and then I tag on to you
because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
How I know Auntie Janet is, I was working as a manager at a daycare, and she came on as I was an assistant manager back then, but she came on as our elder, and yeah, she's been there ever since, and we've had a good relationship since, and yeah, that's how I know Janet. More of a friend than my elder.
They keep me up really late.
Sometimes the lines get blurred a little bit.
Like today at dinner.
So I also met Auntie Janet through the same center. I was assistant manager. Yeah,
because then I was coordinator when you got my old position.
Yeah. So I was the assistant manager when Talia was the coordinator, the director, manager. Whatever. Same. And I met Auntie Janet through that program as an elder as well as I learned myself. I grew up in the KT territory, different location, but our stories and the people we know kind of cross paths, and it's very nice to make that connection with each other. So yeah, it was very nice.
Janet, how did you start working with children in your career?
Oh goodness. It's probably now over 30 years ago.
Okay. What did you do before that?
I was a mom, a wife.
All right, so let's go with the kids here. Start working with kids.
When I start, that's what. So I think our daughter was 5 at the time when I started, and she's 38 now. Because I worked with the Aboriginal services or education within the school district, and that's where I started from there. Is working, but that was elementary, so primary to intermediate. And that's where I started learning more culture. I got to meet more elders, learning from them, even though some of these elders weren't from my area. Their learning and the teaching is the same. What the meanings are. So I was teaching in the schools about Salish weaving, cedar, dream catchers, medicine wheel, just a lot of different things. And then had a bit of break from where I was, went to a different district, worked there for a while. And then when my husband passed, I finally decided, I think it's time for myself. And just to work on what I need to do for me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I've been around.
So what did you do from there? Because you're now working with younger children than you were in the school district.
I am definitely working with you. So when I was asked to be an elder for the center, I went, and I'm thinking, okay, what do you want me to do? Well, just to be here. And
Were we your first
Yeah,
job as
yeah,
an
as an elder.
Oh,
Yep,
really?
I was.
I had no idea.
You didn't know that?
No.
I was.
You're
Well,
so knowledgeable, so it threw us off. We thought you had a lot of practice.
no. Well, I would say first job with to really be in it. I was doing something else as an elder, but it was kind of separate
Yeah.
with parents.
Right.
But to be really immersed with the children as an elder was different for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, to do. And yeah, because when I came and the coordinator at the time and asked me if do you want them to call you grandma, and I go no. Auntie's fine.
I can just picture her asking you that.
Because I said, I think I said it exactly. No, it's because I'm so used to being auntie
Yeah.
to 61, of them. It was more flowing when the kids call me auntie. And some of the adults do as well.
I was gonna say, even myself, I called you Auntie Janet right away and never stopped.
Yes.
I go in and out.
She goes in.
It just feels right.
She goes, yeah, and so it doesn't bother me one way or the other. That's okay. It just fits. But the kids, where they look at me and they call me auntie, they're happy to see me. So, but to work with little ones,
It's a whole other ball game.
that's a you got to really think about how much coordination an elder might have, as well as getting up and down off the floor, those type of things. But you guys were always really good. Well, when I was there, everybody is.
Besides when she tries to clean or redirect children. She's not supposed to do that.
No, not my job. I wasn't in ratio, as I found out. As I found.
Learning curves of being an auntie/elder.
Exactly. Yeah, to do that because some of the children didn't have family close by.
Yeah.
And some of the children were in different circumstances, and they just needed to see that one person continuously, as well. So
yeah.
And
just like a sign of respect too, acknowledging that they're close to you and they play you play an important role in their life, whether they know it now or not because they're so young. But just a sign of respect, calling you auntie.
Yeah. Because within our culture, this is why I say I have one cousin, but I have 3-4 others that are cousin, but their father is my first cousin. And first cousins within a family, their children call you auntie and uncle. So they're not your cousins, they become your nephews and nieces.
Oh. My family kind of did that. Yeah. But just because there was such a huge age gap.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with that. But like my cousins, I called auntie all growing up.
So. Yeah. Like even when I go into other communities sometimes for different things, you'll have younger ones saying, oh, hey, auntie, do you need anything? And I'm going, no, but thank you. Like they don't even know me. So that's part, as you mentioned, is part of
respect.
This sign of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they're taught, is to take care of their elders.
Yeah.
And it's always, whether they know you or not, it's auntie or uncle.
A lot of cultures do that. Like, or if you're like, you go to your friend's house and they're calling their mom, you would also call their mom. It's just like a sign of respect.
Yes.
And everyone's auntie. Yeah.
No, it was always by my kid's first name and mom. Like my son, there you go, Jason's mom.
Yeah.
When they're talking to you?
Yeah.
Jason's mom. That's funny.
Some would do that.
When growing up, my parents were always like, you're supposed to call them by their last name. So like Mrs. whatever, right? Or Mr. whatever. And I was so just like, why? So I always called my friends' parents by their first name. Names. I'm like, you got given a name for a reason. I'm going to call you by your first name.
Yeah.
And it's funny seeing like some of my friends' parents' reactions, because some of them didn't care. Some of them liked it. Some of them hated it. Some of them corrected me.
Yeah.
So it's just funny.
Yeah. No, but that is true. Like, how come we would? But that's part of, so at that time is part of one respect.
Yeah.
Is that is Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Whoever it is.
Yeah.
Or it was Mrs. C for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you worked in the school.
When I worked with the
business district?
schools.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't know how to say my last name.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, sometimes like when I worked in preschools, I'd be called Miss M because my last name is
Mm.
McGonagall, and that's a big last name for a child. Yeah. So Janet, what did you enjoy most about working with children
From
in either the school district? Let's do both, school district and little children.
to if I'm doing weaving, and a child would say, or actually, I'll start with this. A teacher would say, so and so is not going to be able to sit and do this. They're not going to sit long enough, because they would try to tell me that they have either anxiety or they have ADHD, or there was always a label, and I really hate labels. And I said, well, let's just leave it. We'll just wait and see how they do. So it was always seeing the look on their face when they accomplished something. And when they were done, they were going to help the other kids. So it gave them a sense of responsibility and pride. And I always seem to gravitate to the kids that really need that attention.
That extra love.
That extra love. Exactly. I think that's what I enjoyed the most, because one, I kind of like sometimes to prove teachers wrong.
You know.
Don't believe it.
It's because I never knew until I started at this center of what I was doing was let them learn how they need to learn from that, and just give them a chance to learn differently. I think that's a part of that I like the most. The daycare.
Yeah, favorite part.
Oh, that definitely.
Too many to pick from, I know.
I had to really.
We'll give you a minute.
Yeah, exactly. I think, okay, my first day was there was a little guy came up to me, and he just stood and he just looked at me, and I'm going, if I engage, something might happen.
I might punch you in the face.
So I'm just gonna. It was just, yeah.
You might get a hug.
I might get a hug, or you might get hit. One of the. So I just said hello, just acknowledge that he was there, and because so that's what I had to really learn again, of reading the kids' body language and reading how they are when they come up to you, because I think that really shows if they're coming up, like standing there, how are you going to react? Are you going to react like, hey, how are you doing? Or are you saying too much or not enough? So it's really judging that. But when you see someone that sometimes the social skills are not there, but when you really see them grow, and from one thing to not want to share, maybe hit or throw things a lot, and just how their language and their speech comes along. I think that's what I really enjoyed to see, the growth, because I always knew that even younger children need that support, but sometimes parents and any guardian forgets, even when they're teens, they still need that support.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
As well. But if you can base it from down here first, then it helps when they get older. And it's really, it is really cute when they do come running and they go, Auntie Janet.
Yeah.
And that part I really enjoy. It's like, okay, you really do know I'm here.
Yeah. That little bit of a reward back. Them giving back to you in a way, even though they don't know that they're doing it.
Yeah. No, they do feed my heart for sure. Yeah, definitely. And I didn't realize how much I did that, even as an elder, that we do need that too.
Yeah.
We don't think about that as well. We think, oh, we're fine. But no, you're always missing that little part, and to have a purpose as well. Yeah.
What's the biggest thing overall in your career that you've learned by working in the early years field?
Tolerance.
And done.
Is that the mic drop?
That's a good answer.
I think, but I think
Like Family Feud. Good
Fa-
answer.
and I think too from you as well is that tolerance is where is kind of like where are you going to pick your battle
Yes.
as well. I think there's part of that
Mhm.
where you can let some things go, and it doesn't have to be stringent. It doesn't have to be by the rule. Sometimes those rules are meant to be bent,
Mhm.
not broken, but to be bent.
Yeah.
As well. But I think overall through the whole years is tolerance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I like that one.
When? Well, I guess you kind of already answered this, but when did you become an elder? At the place where we worked, or before that?
Like, how does one become an elder?
Yeah.
You reach a certain age. Do you do something?
Asking for a friend.
Because unfortunately now within a lot of communities, they do an elders when you hit 55. But if it was a true becoming an elder, I didn't know was an elder until an elder I knew said to me, "You are now elder in training." And I go, "What?"
Pardon me.
I think at the time I was not quite 50 yet.
You're like, I still got a good 6 years. What do you mean?
Exactly. Yeah, it's for me, that's how that happened.
Mhm.
Because I was doing different things in the community and I was doing extra stuff with the school district. And he had seen those things. And there's times should I say a lot of times I would always go and ask him for advice as well.
Yeah.
Because even elders have elders
Yeah.
to get advice from. So it's usually when someone does a lot within their community, treats everybody the same, and there's no judgment as well, or when an elder says, "You're the elder in training."
Yeah.
But I think when I became not knowing how it flips from elder in training to elder, it just kind of happens naturally.
One day you're not in training.
Not one day I'm not in training. I go, when did I take the training wheels off?
I was not prepared.
When did that happen?
When you started working with me.
Oh yeah.
When we needed you.
It's when you start.
When you got asked if you wanted to be called grandma.
It's exactly.
Thanks, Lori.
Thanks, Lori. Exactly. It's what all of a sudden I was getting different. Could you come in to the event to show up, or can you come and do this, or can you come and do a talk? And it was really not until I started that center I realized, okay, my role is really changed as an elder. But for me, I think I never I never say I'm an elder and you're going to have to treat me that way. I'm not that type of person. And some people do that. And I don't know everything, but it's how I think some elders is how does it make you feel when you're doing it? Whatever it is, or whatever advice you're giving, is how does it make you feel? Is it a good feeling or like not too sure feeling? So sometimes it is common sense. I wasn't brought and trained to be an elder. It just kind of
happened naturally.
Happened naturally.
Yeah.
That's good.
I hope so.
Do you have any advice for our ECE or even school district listeners? People who work with the early years field?
To not overthink it. Not to assume that you know exactly what the child needs. And what I've learned too from COS is circle of security, just to be there, just to be with, and just kind of see what's happening. So take your time with whatever child you're with or whatever situation you're going with. But never leave out the ones that are quiet. The ones
Yeah.
that, never leave out the ones that are quiet, because it's always the ones that are a little bit more robust, as I'm going to say, compared to the ones that are just sitting quietly. Oh, they're doing fine. They're not getting in trouble. But usually that's where help is needed.
Yeah.
So you really do have to have your eyes all around.
Yeah, and not rushing.
Not
through
rushing.
Everything. Yeah, that's really good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish someone told me that when I first started.
You didn't have me.
No, I didn't.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, that is basically it.
Yeah.
You know, think about that. What put you in that position that you wanted that type of career? You know, what drew you? That's where a lot of teachers and ECEs need to think about. What drew you to that career?
Also, another quote that just like popped into my head. It's be the adult you needed when you were a child.
Yeah.
And that sticks with me. I don't know why. But yeah, be the adult you wanted when you were a child.
Yeah.
For those children you work with.
That's some deep shit.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
It is good.
It's like it's
No, it is so true.
Yeah.
No,
it's good.
No, definitely.
That's great.
Mic drop.
It's great. We won't talk about anything else.
It's not that kind of episode.
No. Okay. Jordana, what is something you've learned from Janet?
Ooh.
If anything. I'm just kidding. It's okay. Joke.
Yes, I have learned something from Auntie Janet.
Our elder.
No, one thing I've learned from Auntie Janet is that I need to slow down.
You learned that from Auntie Janet?
Well, okay, well, and Talia, them together, teamwork.
You have to have teamwork.
Yes. But also, like, kind of piggyback what you said is when you're sharing culture with the children, that you don't have to overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more simple than we think it is.
Yeah.
Culture can be incorporated into anything in your day-to-day life, in your routines and everything like that, or in your activities. But yeah, I've learned a lot from Auntie Janet. Honestly, every time we hang out with Auntie Janet, my cheeks hurt, my belly hurts from laughing so hard. Just being in the moment. Auntie Janet lives on a beautiful property right by the river. So always coming out to hang out with Auntie Janet, it's always like I'm in paradise. It's just a good, feel good feeling. Feel good feeling? Good feel feeling.
You're overthinking it.
See, I'm overthinking it.
You need to slow down.
I need to slow down and not overthink it.
Yeah.
What about you, Talia? What have you learned from Auntie Janet?
Perspective. When I'm all like heated up and ready to go, you're like, Natalia, just sit for a second. And we talk through it. I decompress. And then I'm able to go.
Oh.
So perspective.
Yeah. And you don't make the face.
Okay, and that's the thing. My friends joke about this all the time, that like you're making that face. And I'm like, what face? I'm sorry that my face talks.
You're very expressive.
I've tried not to be.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
I have that resting bitch face, as we call it. It's fine.
Honestly, I feel like I learn something from Auntie Janet every time we hang out, but I just can't pinpoint it. You're just very knowledgeable, have a lot of advice, life experience. But yeah, I always feel good after your advice.
Same.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I have to say it's you guys brought me a lot of where it's okay to still have fun, no matter what age you're at. So not that it wasn't there, you just brought it back out again. So considering like you guys are half my age.
We're the three best friends that anyone could have.
So which is good because
it's from a movie.
Yeah, I didn't know it was from a movie. Oh, okay. Oh.
See, bellies hurt, cheeks hurt from laughing so
Yeah.
hard.
But I did teach you guys how to Salish weave. I taught you how to do the cedar
Oh,
headbands.
you've like practically
We super forgot about that, and Auntie Janet's calling us out.
yeah, you taught us a lot.
I did. Yeah.
But for me, perspective was the biggest thing.
But yes, the weaving. We did cedar weaving and
Wool
weaving as well. Headbands for both.
Yeah, and earrings.
earrings.
You weren't there for that.
No.
I missed that one.
You missed
'cause
that
you
one.
left me.
Yeah.
Still not sour.
Not at all.
So sad you missed
I'm
it.
home now.
Even though you've already quit, you're still sour.
You guys learned a little bit more about protocols,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of culture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you know, because especially when the kids come to graduate.
Every time I need a question about that, I'm like, Janet, what do I do?
You wouldn't-
Any culture question is Auntie Janet is our go-to
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've told you guys before, if I don't know the answer, I'll find out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. As I say, not, especially for me, I don't know everything. And which I think as an elder, we shouldn't
Mhm.
know everything. Yeah, because we learn not just from you guys, but we learn from those little ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all, honestly, we all do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The little ones teach us a lot. Is our people usually say, we just say little people because they are little humans. They're little people.
Mhm.
If we just take the time, as you say, just let them lead, watch what they're doing,
Mhm.
you know, and we can learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, any last words, guys? I'll take that as a no. So, thanks.
I got something.
Do you?
Yeah, I got something. What is it? This won't be the last time Auntie Janet will be on our
Oh.
podcast. No,
I just want to say, takes the ending. No,
You
go
wanna
for
buy?
it. No,
You
go
can
for
say
it.
goodbye. I'll
No,
decide.
no, go for it.
Okay, Auntie Janet will be a frequent special guest on our podcast.
Aw.
Because, like I said before, we love hanging out with her, have great laughs, great conversation.
And we can't do this without her.
She has also offered us advice about the podcast, so hence why she is here.
Oh, thanks you
Yeah.
too.
So yeah, we will see you next week.
Yes.
Enjoy your cocktails. Enjoy your evening.
Yes. Thank you for the
Yeah.
cocktail. I don't have to make it. They do it for me. So
Yeah. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Ace well.